guys, my name is Corie Williams, and this is the first in a set of interviews I did with two professional photographers based here in Lubbock. I'd first heard of my next guest shortly after moving to Lubbock in 2009. As I became Facebook friends with more and more people, her work just kept popping up. She originally set out to pursue a career in photojournalism, but decided to take a different route and start a business. She is an amazing wedding photographer and also does great with the personal photography niche. I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Brittany Strebeck. I grew up in Katy, Texas, and my major was photo communications at Texas Tech. I took my first photo class when I was a senior in high school and loved it and knew that it was something that would always be, a hobby of mine, but I never really thought, I'll do it forever, as a job kind of thing. So I came to Tech and majored in everything. I feel like started with psychology and then sociology, and then I just didn't know what I was doing, and then went into photography through the art school, and then finally ended up in the mass communications college doing photo communications. So it took me a while to get to that point, but through that little journey I kind of realized, okay, I love this, and this is what I'm going to make a living. You might get more with this question than you asked for. But when I initially got into photography, went the mass comm route, that whole deal, I always thought I'll do more editorial, I want to shoot for a magazine type thing. I wanted to do missions photography. That was my goal, not necessarily working with people. But then once I started kind of getting into working with people, I realized, oh, this is cool. This is a fun way to see, people in this new light, and just to work with them and, make them realize how beautiful they are and capture them in a light that no one else has ever captured them in before. And that's what kind of made me fall in love with it once I started doing couples and families and just seeing people in their element and being able to give them something that they've never seen before that really affected the way they viewed each other or themselves. And so I kind of fell in love with, I guess, more so the reaction than anything else. But it was just a cool realization that I was like, oh, I can give this to people, so that was probably the main thing. I was just, a confused freshman for a while, trying to figure out what I really wanted to end up doing. And I love the artistic aspect of photography. So my first thought was I want to be creative with photography, so I'll do it through the art school, right? And then once I started taking all the prereqs for that major, I just realized, okay, but I'm not good at drawing, and I don't really love this part of art, I guess. And so it just took me a while to realize what really the photography major through the art school entailed, and just kind of realized I could still be artistic and creative doing, mass communications type stuff, absolutely. And so it just kind of took me a little while to get to that. I would say, at the beginning, just shoot as much as you possibly can. I had some friends who were kind of in the same boat as I was, and from the beginning they were always like, no, I am a kid's photographer, I don't do anything else, and they wouldn't be very busy, but they were a kid's photographer, and by golly, they are good at it. But I kind of went with the approach of just at the beginning, I'm just going to take whatever comes my way and try to get a really, well-rounded experience with shooting, and because you just learn so much in different lighting situations and dealing with different people. And so that would be one thing, is just try to take as many things that come your way, just so you can have that experience and gain credibility through that too. And like I said, don't do it for free. If it's a friend and you want to give them a deal, then give them a free print or a picture on a CD, or try to find a way to still give them a little deal, but not just to do it for free, because I think a lot of it is how you view yourself too. If you view yourself as a professional and as someone who is skilled in a certain way, then you get paid for it. Like, that's how every other industry works, and for some reason it's different with art-based things, you know. So that would be a big one, I would say. And out of college, you know, I've seen people do it both ways, where I have one close friend who's very successful in photography, and he had a full-time job, and he went cold turkey, quit his job, bought all of his equipment, took out a loan, and just dove into photography, and they do awesome. And I went with a different approach. You know, I got a job and did photography on the side and slowly got to where I am now. And so, I mean, I've seen people do it a million different ways, and if your heart is in it and if you are, you know, devoted to that goal, then I think you'll get there. It just might look a different way for different people, you know.